Hey, Bruce here with the 5-Minute Handyman. I am going to be caulking around a newly installed quartz vanity top, and so I wanted to show you how I do that. So let me show you some of the hardware involved. So what we're doing is we have a sink here, and we're going to be doing some caulking. I've already put some painter's tape along the back edge, and I'll show you how I put it on along the side splash here. Some of the stuff I'm going to need is I have a caulk gun. I like to put in a little cup hook in the end of my caulk nozzle so it keeps it from drying out. I can use a caulk spreading tool which provides a radius on the edge. I prefer to use my finger, and so that's what I'm going to use today, but I have used this quite a bit, as you can see. And then I also have some tape. Now it doesn't really matter what kind of tape you use, because the key is how you spread out the caulk along this edge in the tape. So let me show you what I mean by that. But first, let's get the tape installed on this side splash. And what I'll do is I'm just going to take this and put it along the edge. And what I want to do is when I put this down, I want to tap it down about a foot away from the edge. And then if I rub my finger this way, it's going to wrinkle the tape. So I just need to do some straight taps, and then that'll hold it in place, and I can rub my finger along it to seal it down. Okay, so for the next section here, I want to take and line it up. I want to have a nice small bead on the side here. All right, so I don't want this large unsightly caulk line. And so it's just here to seal up this crack that's between the side splash and the wall. Okay, so just continue doing the caulking or the taping along the edge, and I want to get it nice and straight here, and then down around the edge of the countertop. All right, perfect. Now when I put the tape on the painted surface here, this blue tape is pretty sticky, and so what I need to do is I need to reduce the stickiness a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to take it against my shirt and get some lint on it so that I can reduce the stickiness, and it will be less likely to make a tear of my paint that is on the wall. So just an easy way to do this. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I will get my edge lined up with this back edge, press it in nice against the corner, and then I'm going to take and make sure that I have a nice small gap here. Again, we do our tapping. Now I don't want to run and tie in all of the tape along the wall. I just need this bottom edge attached, and it doesn't have to be a super hard attachment, because it's not like paint where the paint is going to roll up or get wicked up behind the tape. We're just looking to protect the surface. Alright, perfect. Alright, so as you can see, I have a pretty uniform line along this edge here, and so that's what I was looking for. Take another piece and get some lint on it, and then I'll put it along this front edge. And along this bottom edge, and then we'll be ready to install our caulk. I want to match that radius a little bit coming down from here. All right, perfect. So what I want to do is take my caulk gun now and make sure that I have a nice clean bead coming out of here. Okay, so then I'll clean off my tip. Notice I have some paper towels down, and we always want to make sure that we have something in case when we put our caulk gun down it's going to drip out onto something, not our countertop. All right, so let's look here and see how this works out here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the corner and I'll apply some caulk. I don't want to apply a lot. I just want to be able to fill up this gap that is here. Okay. All right, so now I'll put this on my paper and come back with my finger, and I like to make sure that I have something slippery, something wet on my finger when I start doing my rub through here. And I'm just pushing down tight into the corner, and what this is going to do is it is going to push the caulk down into the space between the wall and the countertop, and you can see that there's still a little bit of a space here, so I will need to add a little bit more caulk there in order to fill that up. You see how on my tip it started leaking out? If I didn't catch that, it could have gotten onto the countertop, so that's why we put down some protective paper towel first. All right, so just add a little bit more caulk, a little more quantity of it here. Again, put it over the paper, and then do a nice firm push down. One of the keys with adding caulk like this and then having to smooth it is if I leave it too thick, then I'll have an edge by where my tape thickness is. So I want to press down hard enough to make sure that I don't have that, that thick edge. And as I then take and peel off my tape, I don't want to leave this on here a long time. I just want to peel it off. I'm going to peel it up like this at this kind of an angle. I don't want to peel it straight out. I want to kind of make a separation tear right along that edge inside here. Okay, and we do a nice slow peel so that we're not stressing the paint that's on the wall. Okay. Okay, that's coming out nice and straight, and it's going to give me a nice edge. Okay, normally I'll go and do the whole piece before I peel off, but I wanted to show how this is accomplished. Okay, so that's my one strip of tape. Then now we'll take the second strip off. Again, I want to have a nice sharp edge here, so I'm going to peel the tape in this direction like this. I don't want to peel it straight up. I want to peel it at an angle like this. And this will give me a nice clean edge. Okay. So as I come around here, that's exactly what I'm looking for. All right, so now if we look at what we have for our results, you'll see that we have from a distance, it looks like a nice clean white line. And then as we get close, we can see it's a nice small, even caulk line. And so that's the way I do my caulking around countertops, around doors or windows. I use a tape in order to mask it off so I have a nice clean line. If I would have just put in caulk there and used my finger, then it would have blended in and I would have had a big white fillet in here rather than just a nice small edging.